Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday, just like the screen says. Good morning, everybody. Wow, y'all get on early. I love it. I love it. I love it. Good morning. Let's see. Sly, you were here first this morning. Good morning, Sly. Good morning, John of the Croc Cam. Good morning, Matt. How you doing? Good morning, Liza. Great seeing you over the weekend. Happy Monday to you. Good morning, Renee from Reno. Alfred, I see you over there. Good morning, Lilia. How you doing? Love it. My favorite part of this show is all these amazing good mornings. It just gets me going. All right. Hopefully everybody's seeing me live. I had to work out a little bugs in the system this morning, but if you're seeing me live, then I'm seeing you, and it looks like we're going on with, of course it is, dun, 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 PVRN Real News. I'm your host, Brent Lane. I've already said it's Monday 10 times. It's 10:01 in the morning. It is May the 15th, and you have found me right here at PVRN Real News. And good morning from Scotland, sweet sassy studio. I don't know if I've seen you here before, so you get a big good morning. Gave you two all the way from Scotland. What time is it out there right now? I have no idea, but thanks for joining. It's not morning for you, I'm pretty sure, but it's definitely morning for me. All righty, we got some news to cover today. I'll tell you a little bit about my weekend. I hope you had an amazing weekend. First off, if I saw you at the Gen Expats party over the weekend, it was a fun time. It was a bit hot and sweaty. We all burned some calories, but hey, we all felt a little more cleansed, I feel, when it was all over and our skin was glistening. So that was amazing. Oh, yeah, missing my PV family. Oh, I love that. That's amazing. Thank you so much, sweet and sassy. I love it. And I love your name on the show as well. Oh, let's take a look outside really quick. So check this out. This is my new graphic. Boom. What do you think of that? It's got a little border on it now, but there is a live look right outside the studio in Puerto Vallarta. If you're not here, maybe it doesn't look like that in Scotland right now, but this is how it looks right here, right now. If you're here, amazing. If you're not, well, get on down. It's amazing down here and beautiful almost every single day. So this weekend, thanks, appreciate that, Liza. This weekend, I won't talk about it too much right yet because I've got some stuff I'm building for our Casual Friday show, but we did do the chocolate experience that I told you about. We had a really good time. I'll give you just one little sneak peek. Look at those amazing chocolate chefs. The one on your right, my left in the shot, is probably a bit more skilled, a bit cleaner with the chocolate. Mine shot around a little bit more, but overall we had a really good time. And so definitely don't miss Friday's show, where I'm going to go into depth about the amazing Cacao Magico experience of making your own chocolate, dark and light chocolate. Good morning. I see you, Karen. How you doing? So we'll talk about more, but also before I get to Friday, I'm going to have a special web link for you and a code for you. So if you decide you want to get some chocolate at Cacao Magico, you can go ahead and use that code and get 10% off. They just shared that with me. That's pretty cool. It snowed in Reno? Oh my gosh, Renee, that's insane. You deserve an extra good morning for that one. So fun stuff. What else? Let's see. We did that. We had a nice weekend. Really a lazy Sunday. I felt like, Saturday was so busy with the Gen Expats event, and we had the chocolate thing going on, that honestly Sunday we just chilled out and watched some shows and kind of dug into a couple Netflix shows and just kind of relaxed a little bit, getting ready for, another busy weekend. So with that, let's jump into the news really quick. But before we jump into anything, it's absolutely time for us to do our first cheers of the day. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Bing. Cheers. Good morning, Cal Edgar. I remember your name is either Cal or Edgar. I think you're Edgar, but I'll have to try to remember that one. It's hard to remember everybody's name, but I do eventually get it. But good morning to you, and thank you so much for joining the show. And it's good to see you back, Cal. That's right. I'll eventually get that, I promise. All right. Moving into the news, everybody. Let's do it. All right. So let me show you what's going on here. We'll jump right into our first story today. So this one's about a visual pollution crisis as it's being talked about here in Vallarta, and has the local news has been reporting it. So First up, Puerto Vallarta is facing what they're calling a severe visual pollution crisis as a massive influx of unauthorized advertisements, banners, and signs are flooding the city's main avenues and neighborhoods. Local restaurants and business owners are expressing growing frustration over the lack of regulation and enforcement by municipal authorities. The unchecked spread of these displays is not only degrading the urban landscape of our beautiful location in Puerto Vallarta, but it's also impacting the aesthetic appeal of not only key tourist areas, but every neighborhood. I see these things everywhere. Just raising concerns about the long-term effect on the city's image. And before I miss you there, I see you, John. Boop, good morning. So despite numerous public complaints regarding the clutter, local government agencies have yet to take a decisive action to remove the illegal structures or penalize those responsible for environmental, and the civic groups are calling for an immediate intervention to regulate the outdoor advertising and restore order to the streets. I don't know if we're out of order in the streets, but it would be nice not to see this everywhere. And this is a pretty minor example right here. Yeah, I see you. I see you with your dig on law enforcement over there. That's you talking. All right. They warn that the continued inaction will further diminish the quality of life for residents and undermine Puerto Vallarta's standing as a world-class, visually appealing travel destination. All right, what do you guys think? I mean, I know what Alfred says down there. I got that. But, what do you think about this? Are you seeing a lot of images all over the place? I even heard a story. So, as you know, tonight I do the television news on CPS. If you want to ever catch me in a full-on studio setting, that's where you catch me Monday night, 7 o'clock Puerto Vallarta time on television. And I don't know if we've actually covered the story, but we've talked about the banners in the bus stations, and a lot of those are government sponsored, but I've heard a story that some of the QR codes are getting hacked or messed with, that is taking you to like sites where you can buy drugs and stuff. So that kind of ties into this somewhat, but we do see a lot of banners in town. I'm fine with the ones that advertise a show that's coming or the Mexico Open that's coming. But once we get past that date, it seems like they sit there for a really long time. So I feel like there should be some group that's responsible for take these things down in a timely manner after an event is over. I think we saw Mexico Open for 4 months after it was open. But I know they're also talking about all the illegal and unauthorized ones that are everywhere. So if you've got an opinion about that, I'd love to hear it. Let's make sure we figure that out and see if we can get hopefully the government to get on that. All right, don't forget, during the show, if anytime you want to subscribe to my channel, especially if it's your first time, if there are first timers out there, hit the subscribe button down here, hit the bell, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to all notifications so that way you know when the show's coming on and you never miss one. That's always a good way not to miss me if you don't want to. All right, moving on. Guess what? This is an interesting story I read yesterday. So what would you guys think, and gals, think about having a Michelin star restaurant in Puerto Vallarta? I mean, we know there's Michelin star restaurants in Mexico City, Oaxaca. Do we feel like Puerto Vallarta is the next great Michelin star restaurant location? Well, that's being chatted about right now. So let's talk about it. So the culinary scene in Puerto Vallarta is aiming for international recognition as several local restaurants compete to earn their very first Michelin stars in 2026. This prestigious opportunity follows the Michelin Guide's expansion into Mexico, driving top-tier establishments across the municipality to elevate their gastronomic offerings. I don't know why I said it in that. Gastronomic offerings. Local chefs and restaurants are focusing heavily on innovation, high quality regional ingredients, and impeccable service to meet the rigorous standards of the anonymous Michelin inspectors. Are they here now? Are you one? Are you a Michelin? I guess if you are, you can't say so. I hear you, Liza's on board with it. I'm on board with this. I kind of want to be a Michelin inspector. That would be amazing. Good morning, Dan and Kathy. I see you. Just got out of Costco. Yeah, it's snowing up there. How crazy is that? You get an extra good morning for that one and braving the cold and coming on. If you didn't see their message, here it is. Yeah, good morning. And golly, frozen north in Costco. It just sounds crazy. It's so hot and humid down here. It's not even close to frozen north. All right, back into the story. Securing a Michelin star is expected to significantly boost Puerto Vallarta's reputation as a premier culinary destination, attracting high-spending food tourists. From around the globe, industry leaders emphasize that this pursuit benefits the entire local economy by raising the standards across the hospitality sector. As the evaluation period progresses, the community remains optimistic that the city's diverse and sophisticated dining options will soon be officially celebrated on a global stage. How about that? Oh, and by the way, good morning, Melissa. I see you. And we're just talking about amazing dining if you're catching up. So again, we might be seeing Michelin star. We won't know that they're here, but they're going to incognito be reviewing restaurants. And oh my gosh, if we got one, how cool would that be? What restaurant do you think deserves a Michelin star? That's probably a good interactive one. And it will also help our other viewers know where to go eat. So, of course, there's all the big ones like Cafe de Artistes, which we were recently at, and Iguana Grill at Casa Kimberly is a really great restaurant. Honestly, if there's a restaurant that Laura and I really love and they don't sponsor me or give me any free food or anything, they're just really nice people. It's like we really love, and it's super tiny. It's Bogadan de Pastas. So Bogadan de Pastas is about the size of maybe your bedroom if it's small. But man, we always have this great Argentinian, Italian inspired food there, and you got to have a reservation. But I don't know if it's a Michelin star worthy place, but man, it's some of the best food we ever have here. But I'd love to hear your suggestions. What do you think? Go ahead and type it right now into the chat. What's your favorite restaurant that you think could be worthy of a Michelin star right here in our very own Puerto Vallarta? So I'm pretty excited about it. So let's jump in and do a coffee cam to that. Here's to a hopefully future Michelin star restaurant in our town. And you know what else I love? Let me put those up on the screen. Oh, Tinto K, Macau, those are good ones. I also love that y'all know each other and say hi to each other during the show. I freaking love that. That is so cool. I've noticed this is kind of a trend over the last week that you guys actually catch up and meet on the show. That's really cool. I love that. That's fun. So again, if you've got any other thoughts, so I've been to Tinto K. It was very good, no doubt. Now I've not been to Macau. I don't think we've been there. Laura's better at remembering that stuff than I am. But if you got any other suggestions, let's just keep filling up the chat with amazing suggestions, and you guys take notes on some new places to go and check out. All right, once again, take a minute, subscribe to my YouTube channel, so that way you get notifications. You know when the show is on. Pasillo, okay. Thank you, Emily. I appreciate that. That's a good one. Did I say good morning to you already? There you go. All right. Moving forward. This one's no surprise. Guess what? We got a severe heat wave. Oh, Mexico. It is hot. I mean, this is going to be a hot one. They're talking about tropical storms. We've talked about it in the show before. Before we jump into that, there's another restaurant recommendation right there. Florio's. I'm not sure if it's Michelin star level either, but I would also agree Florio's is one of the best and even more importantly, most consistent meals that we get here. That's a huge one. Really like that. Yeah, Hacienda San Angel. I see you already sweating, John. You know what's coming. All right, hold off for just 1 second on your restaurant recommendations. We'll pop them up on the screen here in a minute. But a severe heat wave is currently gripping 24 states across Mexico, driving temperatures to dangerous highs and putting a strain on local power grids and water supplies. Authorities have issued health warnings urging citizens to stay hydrated and avoid prolonged sun exposure during peak hours to prevent heat stroke and other issues. The extreme weather conditions are affecting daily operations, agriculture, and public health in the hardest hit regions, with relief not expected in the immediate future, unfortunately. Concurrently, meteorologist authorities are forecasting intense rains, heavy hailstorms for several of the regions of the country, probably not here in PV for the hail. This dual weather pattern creates a sharp contrast as some states battle extreme drought and heat, while others prepare for potential flooding, strong winds, and infrastructure damage from severe storms. Puerto Vallarta and Bahia. Yeah, we know, we're on the coast. Emergency services are on high alert nationwide, monitoring river levels and advising residents in high-risk zones to take necessary precautions and stay on top of the news and knowing what's going on. All right, let's catch up on some of the notes. Yes, incredible meal. Oh, yep, so good. Michelin star worthy. Yeah, Eric's not feeling it, but good morning. Yeah, it is a tough deal, Eric. I agree. Yeah, and also, Melissa, I agree with you. It is not for the faint of heart. Luckily, a lot of the places I personally lived are even hotter than here, but still, it's pretty hot. Once again, I do have to call out my shirt real quick because This was a gift from Lily, who's on right now, who knows me pretty well. But yeah, not a hugger. I get it. I hear you as well, Eliza. It is a good time to stay inside, write a book. Maybe not the best time for me to have that outdoor activity this week, but you showed up and we sweated out. Yeah, this is also one of my favorite shirts. Thank you. It doesn't really work though, because when I show this shirt that says I'm not a hugger, I get even more hugs. I'm not 100% sure it's working the way I wanted to. Funny enough. All right, moving into the next story and a little more news today. Okay. Profeco is clarifying the legality of mandatory tipping. Here's a question. Now, have you been asked ever to mandatory tip? Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. You see a lot of that stuff on social media. But Mexico's Consumer Protection Agency, again, that's Profeco, as you know, has issued a definitive clarification reminding the public that restaurants and bars cannot legally force customers to pay a tip. I mean, most of the time we gladly do it. Actually, I think I would have the opposite effect on me if they were like forcing it on me. I would want to tip them. The agency emphasized that tipping is entirely voluntary and is meant to reflect the consumer satisfaction with the service provided. Yep, definitely give me your comments right there. I see you, Liza. Yeah, big group added automatically. But is that legal? That's the question, though. So yes, you agree with it, but can they do it? According to what I'm reading right now, they cannot. Okay, so again, tipping is completely voluntary, and establishments are actually strictly prohibited from automatically adding a service charge to the final bill or demanding a specific percentage, as doing so violates the federal consumer protection laws here. Okay. Profeco is urging diners to carefully review their bills before making payments to ensure no unauthorized fees have been included under the guise of quote unquote service. Okay. If a business attempts to enforce a mandatory tip or holds a consumer until it's paid, luckily I don't hear much about being held hostage for tips. Consumers are encouraged to report the venue immediately. The agency reiterates that the business facing verified complaints could subject themselves to a significant financial penalty, temporary closure, or administrative sanctions. Yeah, suggesting a tip as a starting point, that's okay. I mean, maybe for the math, the people that aren't so math inclined, maybe that helps. I don't have a problem with suggesting a tip, but enforcing it is not legal. My suggestion would be just don't run to Profeco immediately. Maybe talk to the organization, clearly state that you know that it's not mandatory. Don't make a big scene about it. We don't want to damage the restaurant. But if it did get escalated or it did get nasty in some way, shape, or form, then Profeco, again, is probably your best way to deal with that. Hopefully none of us have to deal with that, but, that's what it is. So here's to the restaurants doing it right. Let's have a quick cheers. Maybe just a tiny bit of jingle. What do you think? Let's do it.
Coffee time on PVRN. Hey, clink those cups. Let's wake again.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. It's only Monday. We can't coffee cam it out too early in the week. All right, well, that's all I've got for today. I don't have any national news that I saw today that I was like, oh my gosh, we've got to talk about that. I did briefly skim through. I saw that the women's national soccer team lost and they're out of one of their tournaments. Unfortunately, that's too bad. But overall, other than the massive heat wave across the country, which kind of touched into national, we were very local today. So with that, thank you so much for joining the show today. You know how much I appreciate it. I hope you also, caught some good information on the ticker below. I've been including airport delays down there, the weather forecast, the wave forecast, exchange rates, all this stuff that everybody kind of asks about on social media. I see your comment there, Eric. Yeah, Yalapa, they added the tip without disclosure. Good to know. But everybody, thank you so much for coming in. Hang in just a minute for my exit screen and our amazing sponsors. And guess what? Again, starting tomorrow or maybe a little later today, I'll share a code with you to get a little discount on some chocolate. So we did it. You get to take advantage of it. All right, everybody. Love it, love it, love it, and have a great one. And Puerto Vallarta Real News will see you tomorrow.